MTT2 now. So this is all about note values. It says, here are the new note values for grade 2. The single quaver, so we've come across this before. It's got a note head, a stem, and then a tail. Quavers, where the single or beam together last for half a crochet beat. Okay, so that's worth a half a crochet beat. The dotted crochet, now we've come across dots as well in a previous MTT, but let's just have a look. So it says a crochet, which is 1 beat, plus a quaver, which is half a beat, is the same as a dotted crochet. So what the dot does is it adds on half the value of the note. So half of a crochet is a half, so it's taking a crochet and adding half on. So it ends up being 1.5 beats. Okay. The dotted crochet is often followed by a single quaver because together they make up 2 crochet beats. So this is about how notes are often grouped, and when you have a dotted crochet you'll often find it's followed by a quaver because then that makes up the other half of that dot. So we've got the crochet, which is 1, we've got the dot attached to the crochet, which is a half, and then we've got another half here which adds it all up to 2. Or another example, we've got 4 quavers, that's half, 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 that's 2 beats. Then we've got another dotted crochet with a quaver, so that makes up 2 beats as well. Then semiquavers. Semiquavers we've come across as well. When you're beaming them, I mean we haven't drawn it here, but a semiquaver on its own will look similar to a quaver, but instead of having 1 tail, it has 2 tails. And when you beam them, you have 2 beams. And so each one of these is worth a quarter, and so that's 2 quarters a half. That's 4 quarters is 1 beat, crochet beat, and that's 2 crochet beats. A semiquaver lasts for a quarter of a crochet beat. For grade 2, semiquavers are always beamed together in groups of 4 to make up a whole crochet beat. Okay, so like that. Right, so let's get on with it. Question 1. Add the total number of crochet beats in these note values. Okay, so you've got an example here. That's a dotted crochet is 1.5, so we've done that underneath, plus a half equals 2 crochet beats. So you need to do the same thing, so I'll just do one for you. So we've got a dotted crochet, that's 1.5, plus a half, that's a quaver, plus that's half and half. You could do that, but we know that's 1, so we'll just do that. So that's 1 plus 1 is 2, plus another 1, that's 3 crochet beats. And make sure you write the whole thing, beats, like that. Okay? All right, so that's that, and then we've got more of the same here and here, and then similar thing here. It says fill the coloured boxes with correctly grouped quavers to complete the bars. Okay, so what are you going to add? They've done an example here, so make sure you need to complete this dotted crochet with a quaver first, a single quaver, because that is grouped together with that, and then we've got our quavers grouped together here. So it's fairly not that easy, I suppose. 2, 4, we've got a dotted crochet, that's 1.5, so we need another half, so a half is going to go in there, that's a quaver. And it's always going to be, it says always with grouped quavers, so we've got 1, 2 beats here, we need another 2 beats to make up the 4 beats, so we're going to want some quavers in there, so we want 1, 2, that's 2, 3, 4, okay? Not very neat, but you can do it neater than that. And then you can carry on with that, all right? And finally, on this page, write a dotted crochet at the beginning of each bar and complete it with single quavers and or crochets. So they want you to start with a dotted crochet, so I can start there on this one, a dotted crochet, and then complete it with single quavers and or crochets. So we need to make up this is 1 plus a half. We need to get another half to go with this, so that's going to be a quaver. And then what do we need left? We can just add 2 more crotchets. So that will be 1 half, and half is 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay? And you can do the same thing with those. Make sure you've got a dotted crochet at the beginning of each bar, and then make up the rest of the beats. All right, and then we've got another page here. So here, this is where you can be a bit creative actually, because it's asking you to write 4-bar rhythms. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. Write rhythms using the note values you know. So we know lots of note values. You know crotchets, you know semiquavers, quavers, dotted crotchets. So you can make it up, be as creative as you can, and you want to try and make it different from each one. So I'll give you an example for the first one. So we want to make sure each bar adds up to 2 beats. So I can start with something dead simple, 2 crotchets, and that adds up to 2. And then I could have 2 quavers, that makes 1, and then a crotchet. Okay, really simple. I could have just a minim in there, and that will add that bar, get that bar, and then something a bit more interesting in this bar. Let's have a dotted crotchet and a quaver, and those all add up to 2 beats. And it's worth just checking that all your bars add up to the time signature. Okay, something to remember here: you've got 3, 4, so 3 beats, 4 crotchet beats, 2 crotchet beats. What does this mean? Hopefully you remember from weeks and weeks and weeks ago, where we learnt that C stands for common time, and that is the same as 4/4. So it's the same as 4 beats in a bar. Okay, so that is MTT2.